Hello, this is the Microtuner algorithm on the disting EX. This is a tuner. It will tune up to four inputs at the same time, and it will do so to a normal equal tempered scale or to a microtonal scale defined by Scala or MTS or some such. So let's go through the options. At the moment I've just got a signal coming from my A1116 miniature synthesizer voice into input 1. So the first parameter of the algorithm is the tuner input. So you can select any of the four inputs, or you can select them in pairs, or you can select all four at the same time. But let's just do the just do the first one for now, because this gives us the most information on screen at the same time. And I'll just turn the thing on so you can hear it. Okay, so basically, most obviously you've got the note on the left hand side, the note name, you've got the amount by which it's off, 32 cents about, graphical display at the bottom of the offness. Top right is the frequency of that note in hertz, and then the next one down is the frequency of the note it's trying to tune it to. So the correct frequency for a C around here is that 138.8. So if I very gently adjust it, I can get it in tune. So that's all very nice. So the sound comes in here, comes out the output into my mixer. The outputs are either through, like I said, or you can have them output a voltage. So if you want to actually use this to tune or calibrate a VCO, you can take a output from the disting and then use these parameters. So say output 2, change it from being a through, so through fixed voltage, and then output 2 voltage. I can output whole numbers of volts to step through the octaves, should that prove useful. So let's just turn that back to output 2 to through before I forget. So as I mentioned, you can also tune to a microtonal scale. So let's select a scale and a keyboard map. And now you see we've got an extra line in the display here. It's showing us the frequency and the target frequency as we had before, but it's also showing us the ratio from the Scala file. So if I say tune this up to a G now, then it's showing the ratio 3/2, just intonation, perfect fifth. So I'll come back to that when we start tuning more than one at the same time. Let's turn that off for now again and go away. So let's have there. Okay, right. So let's add another one. So we'll take my second voice and we'll plug it in here and turn it up so we can hear it. Lovely. Okay, so now we'll so if we want to tune that second one, we could just switch to input 2 and tune it, or we can change that to inputs 1 and 2 and tune them both at the same time. So obviously that one on the left, that one on the right. Let's turn them both on in the mixer. So there we go. That's see if I can get that dead on. There we go, equal tempered major third. And this is where I like to demonstrate just intonation, because that's really quite badly off, just intonation. Sorry, where's my thing? There we go. So let's select the major scale. Okay, so now we've switched it to just intonation. you can see that the major third is 14 cents sharp, which equal tempered major thirds are. And if we now tune that to dead on, that's a just major third, which doesn't beat. It sounds much more pure. So that's all very nice. And as I said, we can have up to 4 of these things going on at the same time. So if we put that all the way up to inputs 1 to 4 and plug in my other voices, I've got 4 of these in a row, which you can't see. Not that one. That one. And that one. And that one. So now I've got 4 of these things going on. Let's see if I can get, no, I can't quite get an octave. Let's put that back down to the unison, and why don't we put this one on the 5th? Nearest down. Anyway, so that's 4 things all being tuned at the same time, all on the display, going through the disting. So yeah, that's basically what it does. The other thing I'll just quickly show is so I'm just back to input 1 now. The disting has long had a tuner in the Mark IV and then in the dual mode on the EX. This tuner is much better, it's much more sophisticated and will cope with a much wider range of sounds. So just as an example, even this simple sound, if I switch to the dual mode, there we go. So that's the dual mode tuner, which is the same as on the Mark IV, and even with this simple tone it's struggling to give you a sensible value. If I just turn off the square component so it's a pure saw wave, then it has a much better time. But that is not great. And there's just as another example, I've got a violin sound coming from a general CV, which is up over here. You see, this one is not coping at all, unfortunately, but if I go back to the Microtuner, then it's coping quite nicely with that violin. It's tuning to a C, and if I transpose it, it's, I guess, still coping quite nicely, and there we go. So as I say, a much more sophisticated pitch tracking algorithm and 4 tuners at the same time, which can use microtonal scales if you wish. So that's it, the Microtuner algorithm on the Disting EX.